We are back, and by we, I mean me. Welcome back to the Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Bandy. Usually with me is Trey, but your boy is on his honeymoon. So we're going to leave him alone and let him enjoy his time with his lady. We've got some starts and sits for Sunday football. Let's get into it. First of all, before we get started, let's define a start really quick. For us, a start generally is going to be about 12 points. You know, we want our guys to score a lot more, but basically just to keep it on kind of a level basis, 12 points for your wide receivers, running backs, your tight ends, especially this year, are going to be 10 points, and all quarterbacks, 20 points is a start. Now, let's go ahead and get into the first game that we got. The Vikings versus the Saints. The over-under on this game is 43.5 points. I'm taking the over on this game. I think it's going to be a scoring match. We got Andy Dalton in at quarterback this week, so I think he's going to, get a little gunslinger like he likes to do and throw the ball around a little bit, which, hey, doesn't mean he's going to hit his receivers, but at least he's going to throw it to him. But I'm still taking the Vikings to take the W, kind of bounce back from some slower games after that quick start in week 1. Let's get into my starts. For the Vikings, I'm starting Kirk Cousins. I'm starting Dalvin Cook if he's in. Alexander Mattinson if he's not. I said it before, those guys look like the same guy. The only difference is the number on their back. Starting Justin Jefferson. I know he's gotten off to a slow start, but it's Justin Jefferson. You're going to start him. Adam Thielen I've also got as a start. I like Adam Thielen. I think he can do big things. Once they start figuring things out, they're going to get him rolling again. Let's move on to my sits. I'm sitting Irv Smith. I'm sitting KJ Osborne. And I'm going to go ahead and sit Johnny Munt. It's Sunday, not Monday night football. So Johnny Munt, you're sitting on the bench, buddy. Let's move on to the Saints. In the start column, I've got Andy Dalton as a start. Like I said, I think he's going to throw the ball around a little bit. It's going to be fun. Hopefully he can get to Kamara, who is my other start. Also, Michael Thomas is out, so I'm going to go ahead and fire up Chris Olave. It seems like they've been trying to get the ball to him anyways, so Chris Olave, a start for me. In my sit column, Jawan Johnson, I'm sitting Traquan Smith, and I'm going to go ahead and sit Adam Troutman as well. Going to be a fun game. Let's go ahead and move on to our next game. We've got the Seahawks versus the Lions. Rawr. The over-under on this game is 48.5 points. I'm going to take the under on this game. Got Jared Goff. He is throwing the ball around, but no Amon-Ra. No Swift there. The Seahawks, Geno Smith, maybe DK turns it into something. I don't know. But I still got the Lions taking the W on this game. I think it's going to be a fun one. Let's go ahead and move to our starts. In the start column, I'm going to go ahead and start DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Those guys, they can do something, like I said, with the ball in their hands. So all Geno's got to do is get it to them and let them do the rest. Hopefully we can see a little bit of that. I'm going to go ahead and start Rashad Penny, give him another chance. Let's see what he's got. If nothing happens here, I am throwing Rashad Penny into the gag bag. Moving on to my sits, I'm going to sit Geno Smith, sitting Noah Fant, Will Dissly, and I'm sitting Marquise Goodwin. He just got moved too healthy. Not like it's going to help us out very much, but we're going to go ahead and keep him on the sit list. For the Lions, I'm going to go ahead. I'm starting Jared Goff. I had him in as one of my top quarterback waiver wire ads this week. I'm going to go ahead and start Jamal Williams. DeAndre Swift is officially marked as out. Jamal Williams got 2 tutties last week. Hopefully, he can keep that rolling against the Seahawks defense. DJ Chark, I think it'd be a good start here with Amon-Ra out. TJ Hawkinson probably going to get some love there also with Amon-Ra out. They're going to have to do different things on the Lions if they want to win this game because they don't got 2 of their main guys there. Moving on to my sits, I'm going to sit Khalif Raymond, sit Josh Reynolds, and sit Quintez Cephas. Let's go ahead and move to the next game. It's the Jets versus the Steelers. The over-under on this game is 41.5. I'm going to go ahead and take the under on this game. It's the Jets. It's the Steelers. Zach Wilson versus Mitchell Trubisky. Kenny Pickett, maybe, huh? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I still got the Jets taking the W on that. Even though the Steelers defense has been pretty good, I think Zach Wilson has some stuff to show. Let's go to the starts. I'm going to fire up Zach Wilson this week. If I have to, obviously. If I've got a better quarterback option, I'm taking him. But if I got to, I'll start Zach Wilson, see what he's got. Michael Carter, I'm starting. Garrett Wilson had us a scare last week, but I'm starting this guy up. Tyler Conklin, one of our top tight end waiver wire ads. It's pretty dry over there on tight end. We got to give somebody a shot, right? Move to the sit column. I've got Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Denzel Mims, and Breece Hall. I'm still sitting him. I need to see more. It's going to be interesting to see what Zach Wilson does with Breece Hall at his command. We're going to find out. It's going to be fun. Let's go ahead and move to the Steelers starts. In the start column, I'm starting Najee Harris. I'm starting Pat Freiermuth. I'm starting Deontay Johnson and George Pickens. After that catch last week, I think they're starting to see that they've got something there with George Pickens. Hopefully they plan to use him more and show up on the field. In the sit column, I'm keeping Mitch Trubisky in my sit column. Chase Claypool still sitting for me. It's either going to be Chase or George Pickens getting some targets. My vote is George Pickens. I guess we're going to see. Let's go ahead and move to the next game. We've got the Bears versus the Giants. Over-under on this game is 39 points. I'm going to take the over. I think it's going to be a surprising game. The Bears and the Giants, it'll be fun. Saquon get rolling, hopefully. Justin Fields, he's going to be running the ball. Khalil Herbert getting the start over David Montgomery. That will be awesome to see. I've got the Giants taking the W, taking the win on this game. Let's go ahead and move to our starts. For the Bears, I've got Khalil Herbert firing this guy up. He is a beast, a monster, and I've been saying it since the offseason. Just want to throw that out there. I'm going to start Cole Kmet because, like I said, tight end is a really sticky situation right now, and I think Cole Kmet is due for a comeback. Bears sits. I'm sitting Justin Fields, Darnell Mooney, Equius St. Brown, and Dante Pettis. I don't like any of them. There's a chance one of these receivers could break out, but it's highly unlikely with the way that the Bears are running the ball this year. Let's roll on to the Giants starts. This is a very short list. I'm starting Saquon Barkley, and I'm starting Richie James or Kadarius Toney. I just don't know what's going to happen there. It's going to be one of those two getting the targets. Sterling Shepard is out for the season. That poor guy can't catch a break. He just got back. In the Giants sit column, I'm sitting Darius Slayton, and I'm sitting Daniel Bellinger. Darius Slayton, he's interesting to me. This guy, I remember a year or two ago, him getting some catches, being fantasy relevant. I really like Darius Slayton, and I hope we can see the return of Darius Slayton with Sterling Shepard out. Daniel Bellinger, that tight end pool, like I said, is sticky. I mean, he might be worth a dart throw to see what happens. Daniel Bellinger, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Let's go ahead and move to our next game. We've got the Titans versus the Colts. Over-under of this game is 42.5 points. I'm going to take the under here. Hopefully Derrick Henry can get it rolling again. It's going to be Derrick Henry versus Jonathan Taylor. The old school versus the new school. I cannot wait. I myself am a Derrick Henry guy. So that being said, Titans take the W on this game. Moving to my start column for the Titans, I'm starting Ryan Tannehill, I'm starting Derrick Henry, and I'm starting Bobby Trees. Robert Woods getting the start. They've realized that he can catch the ball. If you put it up to him, he can go get that thing. They're starting to see Robert Woods' worth, and it's starting to show up on the field. All you that dropped him, I understand. I get it. I dropped him as well, but I went ahead and picked him back up. In the sit column, I'm sitting Treylon Burks, Austin Hooper, Dontrell Hilliard, Geoff Swain. I'm sitting all these guys. I really want to see Treylon Burks bust out, but it just hasn't happened yet. I believe maybe this game, maybe a couple games from now, Treylon Burks is going to go ham sauce. Shout out to my boy Bayou Bengal. That's his word, ham sauce. If I was going to use it, I had to give him some credit. Let's go ahead and roll to the Colts starts. In the start column, I'm starting Matt Ryan. I'm starting Jonathan Taylor. I'm starting Michael Pittman Jr. Jonathan Taylor has been a little disappointing this year, but we said it at the beginning of the season. He is due for regression. Hopefully he's working on it. He just missed his first day of practice. I believe like he has on a streak there where he hadn't missed one day. He finally just missed one on an injury. Nothing crazy. Obviously, he'll play in the game. Just saying, that's impressive by him. Don't trip Jonathan Taylor managers. He's going to be fine. He's going to get it going. This is how he started his rookie season a few years back, too. A very slow start. They thought they missed on the pick, and then he took off for him. Just remember that. In my sit column, I'm sitting Nyheim Hines. Keep an eye out on him, though. They seem to have been using him a little more, and as a pass catching back, should be interesting to see what happens with Nyheim Hines. Mo Alley Cox, Paris Campbell, Alec Pierce, all in my sit column. Move to the next game. We've got the Chargers versus the Texans. Over-under on this game, 44.5 points. I'm taking the under on this game. I know it is Justin Herbert, but with his injury, he looked a little sluggish last week, and I just don't see there being that many points scored in this game. Keenan Allen also out, but I still got the Chargers taking the W on this game. Mike Williams needs to step right back up in and show him what he's got. Let's move to the Chargers starts. In the start column, I'm starting Justin Herbert. I'm starting Austin Eckler. Mike Williams, like I said, taking Keenan Allen's role and doing something big with it. Joshua Palmer, I'm starting him. Fire this guy up. Gerald Everett, again with them tight ends. I like Gerald Everett. They plan to get him the ball. Again, no Keenan Allen. They're going to have to rely on some other guys. Go for Gerald Everett as a tight end. In my sits, I'm sitting DeAndre Carter. I'm sitting Joshua Kelly. I don't see them getting a ton of work. Joshua Palmer, DeAndre Carter, one of these guys is going to get to eat on this game. Let's move to the Texans starts. In the start column, I am starting Davis Mills, Dameon Pierce. Fingers crossed for Dameon Pierce. Got it going a little bit last week. I hope he can keep it rolling. Brandon Cooks, you know we're starting this guy. Texan sits. I am sitting Rex Burkhead. Nico Collins, Pharaoh Brown, and OJ Howard. No tight ends on that team that I am going to touch. Let's go to the next game, baby. Moving right along, the Browns versus the Falcons. Over under on this game, 49.5 points. Taking the under on this game, Marcus Mariota, or as I like to call him, Marcus Run You Over, going against Jacoby Brissett. I believe the Browns are going to be running the ball. Lots of time of possession for the Browns team. But I think the Falcons are going to take the W on this game. I like what Marcus Mariota is doing. I love that he come in here as this guy sucks, and he's doing something with it. I freaking love it, and I hope he continues it. Let's go ahead and move to the start column. For the Browns, I'm starting Nick Chubb. And my super start of the week, Kareem Hunt. I think Kareem Hunt is going to be masterful in this game. Chubb got the work last week. It's Hunt's turn, baby. Hunt is going to eat against the Falcons. Also in the start column, I've got Amari Cooper, David Njoku. Brown sits. I've got Jacoby Brissett. I don't trust this guy. They are a run team, and that's how they've managed to win so far. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Michael Woods the second, all in the sit column. Let's roll to the Falcons starts. I'm starting Marcus Run You Over. I'm starting Cordero Patterson if he's healthy. I'm starting Kyle Pitts, starting Drake London. Now, if Cordero Patterson doesn't play, it's Tyler Allgeier's time, and I will be so excited to see that. I do have Cordero Patterson in one of my leagues, so I would hate to miss out on those points, but I would love to see Tyler Allgeier get it going. So I got Tyler Allgeier in the sit column if Cordero Patterson is in. Bryan Edwards also in my sit column for this game. Move on to the next game. We got the Washington Commanders versus the Dallas Cowboys. Over-under on this game is 41.5 points. Cooper Rush, Carson Wentz. Micah Parsons probably going to get after Carson Wentz a little bit, but I think Carson Wentz will still manage to be fantasy relevant. I think the Commanders are going to take the W on this one. Cooper Rush, you had your go, you had your wins, but I think it ends here, buddy. Also taking the under on that game. Let's go to the Washington Commanders starts. I'm starting Carson Wentz. Had him on my top quarterback waiver wire ads. Gonna fire this guy up if I have to. Antonio Gibson starting for me. Scary Terry McLaurin starting. Jahan Dotson starting for me. And Curtis Samuel. I think them receivers are going to eat over there. Commander sits. J.D. McKissick as a sit. Keep an eye on this guy, though. J.D. McKissick always has a game or two where he pops. It's just putting him in the start column on that certain game, but you never know when it's going to happen. Just keep an eye on J.D. McKissick. Logan Thomas, I'm sitting him. Cam Sims, I'm sitting him. Let's go to the Cowboys starts. I'm starting Cooper Rush. I'm starting Zeke Elliott, starting Tony Pollard, starting CeeDee Lamb. And if Dalton Schultz can go, I'm starting Dalton Schultz. Like I said, Cooper Rush, I think, is going to lose this game, but I believe he will have enough to hit that 20 points that we need him to hit to be considered a start. Cowboys sits. Noah Brown, who I've been very impressed with. It seems like Cooper Rush and him have some chemistry there. It seemed like he was getting the ball a lot, but when you looked at his points, they didn't seem to transfer over. I mean, it looked like he was all over the field, but he still managed to get, I think, like 6 points, if that. So I got him in the sit list. Michael Gallup also as a sit. Jalen Tolbert and Jake Ferguson. Now, if Dalton Schultz's injury gets him out of the game, I think Jake Ferguson could be a decent streaming option, may surprise us. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Going to the next game, we got the Jaguars versus the Eagles. The over-under on this game, 46.5 points. I'm taking the over on this one. I didn't think I would be excited about the Jaguars against the Eagles, but this is going to be a fun game. If the Jags are playing like they have been playing against the way the Eagles have been playing, it should be a high-flying match, and I'm excited about that. That being said, I've got the Jags taking the W on that one, giving the Eagles their first loss. That's right, no more undefeated teams in the NFL. Let's go to the Jaguars starts. In the start column, I'm starting Trevor Lawrence, James Robinson, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones. Zay Jones, one of those wide receiver waiver wire ads I had on the list. Zay Jones managed to pull out being the number 2 on that team. James Robinson looking great this year. I am so excited to watch him get his. They said, we got this guy, Travis Etienne. He's going to come and take your spot. James Robinson said, no, he ain't. Ran it like a man. Let's go to the Jaguars sits. I'm sitting Travis Etienne, just talking about this guy. Marvin Jones Jr., Evan Ingram, Jamal Agnew. You know, Evan Ingram hasn't been getting many targets, but on the Giants, this guy was always hurt, so maybe that's why he's managed to stay on the field this year, because they aren't using him as much. Maybe more in the blocking game. That may be his, specialty. He's a great pass catcher for the Giants, but it's good to see him on the field still. Let's go to the Eagles starts. Of course, you're starting Jalen Hurts. I'm starting Miles Sanders. It hurts to do it, but I got to start him up this week. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, giving him a shot. People are saying don't trust Devonta Smith, but I think he is just getting started. Dallas Goedert, got to start this guy. Moving to the sits. Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott, Quez Watkins, Zach Pascal, all sitting for the Eagles. Let's go ahead and move to the next game. We've got the Bills versus the Ravens. Over-under on this game, 51.5 points. I'm going to take the over on this game. The Bills have got me a couple times taking the over on them, but against the Ravens, I think it's going to be an exciting match. Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. It should be a good one. But the Bills got embarrassed last week against the Dolphins, so I think they come back with a vengeance and take the W against the Ravens. Let's go to the Bills starts. In the start column, of course, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. I'm starting Gabriel Davis. I'm starting Isaiah McKenzie. Let's go to our sits. Bills sits. Devin Singletary, Zach Moss. I just do not trust Devin Singletary or Zach Moss on a consistent basis. They may have a good game here or there, but are you willing to trust putting them in to risk it? Dawson Knox, who I like a lot, I think can be really good if he got targeted more. Jamison Crowder, James Cook. James Cook needs to get it started, needs to get it rolling, man. Let's see what you got, buddy. Let's go to the Ravens starts. For the Ravens, I'm starting Lamar Jackson. I'm going to go ahead and start J.K. Dobbins on a snap count last week. Full participant in practice, ready to go. Let's see what you got, J.K. Dobbins. Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, Mark Andrews. Man, I'm excited the way Lamar is throwing the ball this year. That has always been my nag on Lamar. If you can run the ball here and there, I love it. But to be a great quarterback, you need to be able to sit in the pocket and throw that bad boy. In the sit column, I'm sitting Justice Hill, Demarcus Robinson, and Isaiah Likely, all in the sit column. Going to the next game, we've got the Cardinals versus the Panthers. Over-under on this game, 42.5 points. I am taking the under on this game. Cardinals and the Panthers. Kyler and the Cardinals just haven't been able to seem to get things clicking this year, and never in the first quarter especially. Maybe a little bit when the lighter is under them and they're getting a little worried in the third and fourth. They start to pick it up a little bit, but they can't put 4 good quarters together, and it's opposite of what happened last year. It's pretty scary. But I've got the Cardinals taking the W on that one. Baker Mayfield having a rough ride over there in Carolina. Let's go ahead to the start column. I've got in the start column, I'm starting Kyler Murray, James Conner, who's been a bit of a disappointment this year, but I believe he's going to get it going when you least expect it. Hollywood Brown, I'm starting. Greg Dortch, I am starting this guy up. Zach Ertz, also starting him up. Zach Ertz seems like halfway through the game, maybe the third quarter, you're like, man, he has got 0 points. Or I've got 1 catch for 1.2 points. What is going on with Ertz? And then all of a sudden, Ertz booms off and gets a good long one. I love it. With tight ends these days, I'll take me some Zach Ertz any day of the week. In my sit column, I've got Benjamin Enos, Rondale Moore, and Andy Isabella. Let's move to the Panthers starts. In my start column, I've got Baker Mayfield. Yes, he's having a rough time, but I believe he can hit that 20 points that we need him to hit. CMC / Deontay Foreman. One of these guys is going to be the starter. If it's CMC, of course, you're going to start him up. Deontay Foreman, we saw him do some okay things with Derrick Henry out in Tennessee last year as the running back one for the last few games. They managed to get the number 1 seed in Tennessee. So I'd be willing to throw him in if I had no option or if I'm a CMC owner. Go ahead and start DJ Moore also. Panthers sitting Robbie Anderson, sitting Rashard Higgins, Ian Thomas, and Laviska Shenault all in the sit column. Let's go to the next game. We've got the Broncos versus the Raiders. Over under on this game, 45.5 points. I'm going to take the over on this one. We've got the Broncos with Russell Wilson. We've got the Raiders with Devontae and Derek Carr. Should be a really fun match to watch. The Raiders have been a bit of a disappointment this year. We all had such high hopes. Haven't won a game yet, but I believe they get their first win this week against the Broncos. In that game, let's go to the starts for the Broncos. I've got Russell Wilson, Javonte Williams, and Melvin Gordon. I'm starting both of these guys. Maybe not on the same team, but I'm going to fire them up. Melvin Gordon just got the thumbs up to go, so we're going to get Melvin Gordon in there. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy also starting for me. Roll to the sits. Albert, oh man, I shouldn't have picked this guy. KJ Hamler also in the sits. Albert, oh man, big disappointment. I had such high hopes for you, man, but 2 weeks of basically nothing. You got to go, buddy. Throw him in the gag bag. Get rid of Albert O. Find you another tight end to stream, or just get it out of there. But let's go to the Raiders starts. Starting Derek Carr, starting Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, Devontae Adams. You know you're going to fire all these guys up on a consistent basis. Move to the sits. Brandon Bolden, Mac Hollins, who I really like. Mac Hollins should be doing big things, especially with Hunter Renfrow out. Just keep an eye on him. That's all I'm saying. I got him in the sit column just because I need to see more before I'm able to put him in my start column. Keelan Cole, also a sit. Foster Moreau, also a sit for the Raiders. Let's move to the next game. We've got the Patriots versus the Packers. Over under for this game, 40.5 points. I'm going to take the over on this game. I believe Aaron Rodgers is going to hook up with Romeo Doubs and make things happen and put a hurting on the Patriots. Packers taking the W on this one. just because Brian Hoyer's starting as quarterback, we could see some turnovers for the Packers defense, who's been playing very well this year. I would definitely take the over on that. Packers taking the win. Let's go to our starts. Patriots starts. I'm starting Ramondre Stevenson. It's looking like this may be his backfield. However, I am also going to start Damian Harris and Jacoby Myers. I think it's becoming Ramondre Stevenson's backfield, but Damian Harris is still there for now, and I believe he's going to get some carries and definitely touchdowns. I mean, this guy is a touchdown machine. Somehow always manages to find the end zone. For the sits on the Patriots, I'm sitting Brian Hoyer, sitting Kendrick Bourne, sitting Devontae Parker, but keep an eye out on Devontae Parker. He looked good last week. That's all I'm trying to say here. Nelson Aguilar, one of those boom and bust guys. Sometimes he is just like, he'll fool you and make you think I need this guy on my team. And then the next 2 weeks, he does nada. Hunter Henry finally reaching over to my sit column. I really had high hopes for Hunter Henry also. I figured he was going to surprise people, but seems like you're just going to sit over there on the sits. Let's go to the Packers. Starts Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, anybody named Aaron on this team, you get the start. Alan Lazard, Romeo Dobbs, all starting for me. Romeo Dobbs. I just want to point out that I have been saying this guy is going to be the guy. Also in my top waiver wire ads list. If he's there, you should have grabbed him. He's probably not there anymore, but move to our sits. I'm sitting Christian Watson. Randall Cobb, if he plays, I'm still sitting him. Robert Tonyan, really hard to find a decent tight end this year, but if you've got to go to the waiver and get one, I would risk Robert Tonyan if I had to. AJ Dillon in my sit column. I just think that Aaron Jones seems to be getting more of the work, and AJ Dillon is such a big guy. You think he'd be trucking through these fellas, but he just can't seem to get a threshold on it. Let's go to the next game, and that is our Manscaped game of the week. We've got the Chiefs versus the Bucks. Before we move on to our starts and sits, I want to talk to you about Manscaped. Listen, guys, Manscaped's performance package comes with so much great stuff. It's ridiculous. It's a steal. I love my performance package that I got from Manscaped. I got the Lawnmower 4.0. If you've watched the show, you've heard me talk about how great this thing is. And it also comes with the nose and hair trimmer. We get the ball deodorant and the crop reviver ball toner. Look, I want to talk to you a little bit about the crop reviver stuff. Listen, let's say it's been a long day. You got stuff to do. You get off work. You're feeling kind of gross. You're feeling kind of dirty. You just worked all day. You take this stuff. You get a little down there. It refreshes things, if I put it this way. It makes you not feel as gross and sticky down there. I mean, I'm not trying to get gross with you. I'm just trying to make you understand this crop reviver stuff is magic. I really like it. I enjoy it. Also, if you order, you get the free Manscaped Shed bag. Everything you got fits in it. I got a pair of boxers with it, and the boxers are fantastic. Changed the way I wear underwear. I had to buy a few more pairs just because they were so comfortable. I was wearing that one pair out. Now look, if you go to manscaped.com, use our promo code SUPERFLEX20, you'll get 20% off and you'll get free shipping worldwide. You get all that for a great deal and 20% off. Trust me when I tell you, your balls will thank you. That is right, Manscaped, baby. Check it out. Let's move to the game of the week. We've got the Chiefs versus the Bucks. Over-under on this game is 45 points. I'm taking the over on this one. We've got Tom Brady. We've got Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be another banger. That defense for Tampa is looking great. Patrick Mahomes is looking pretty good this year, coming off a loss against the Colts where he couldn't perform clutch. Tom Brady is going to come back and come alive in this game. No more one touchdown game. I'm talking 3 touchdowns for Tom Brady. That's why I'm taking the over, and I'm taking the Bucs to take the win for this game. Let's go to the Chiefs starts. In the start column for the Chiefs, I'm starting Patrick Mahomes. I'm starting Travis Kelce, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Juju Smith-Schuster, Sky Moore. It's really hard to pick wide receivers to start for the Chiefs just by the way they've been playing. Do they have a number one on this team? Because I'm sitting here looking at the chart, looking at all the wide receivers, and I don't see who you could call the number one on this team. And it's a bit scary. I mean, Travis Kelce's the number one tight end, but he is definitely the guy for the targets. In the sit column, I'm sitting Mecole Hardman. I'm sitting Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Justin Watson, Jerick McKinnon, all in my sit list. Let's go to the Bucs starts. I'm starting Tom Brady. Tom Brady's going to come back with a vengeance. So is Leonard Fournette. Both getting a touchdown. Maybe Tom throws Fournette a touchdown, huh? Mike Evans back in the mix. Also a start. Russell Gage, who I think showed a lot of heart last week. Mike Evans getting the doubles. Russell Gage possibly getting the targets. And Godwin, if he plays, I think I'm going to start him up. We took a risk and started him in week 1, and it didn't pay off. But it's Godwin. You got him. You got to start him. Bucs sits Brashad Perryman, Scotty Miller, Julio Jones. If he's in, I'm still too scared to start this guy. We're going to keep him sat. Cameron Brate, Rachaad White, also on my sit list. But Todd Bowles has been talking about getting this kid some work, and I hope they do. Let's go to the next game. We've got the Rams versus the 49ers. Over-under for this game, 42.5 points. I'm taking the over on this game. We've got the Rams. We've got the Niners. Jimmy G, Matthew Stafford. It should be fun. It should be interesting like it always is when they play each other. But I got the 49ers taking the W against your defending Super Bowl champions. Jimmy G gonna come back with a vengeance and tear him up over there. Let's go to the Rams starts. I'm starting Stafford. I'm starting super-de-duper Cooper Kupp. I'm starting Darrell Henderson. Allen Robinson, I'm giving him one last shot to be a starter for this team. Tyler Higbee, also a starter. It's really dense at tight ends. I haven't started a ton of tight ends on this list, but Tyler Higbee I would be willing to give a shot to. Rams sits, Ben Skoranek, Cam Akers, all on my sit list. Let's go to the 49ers starts. In the start column, I'm starting Jimmy G, Jeff Wilson Jr., George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, all on the start list. And in my sit list, Danny Gray and Ray McLeod. All right, guys, you are ready for Sunday football. Don't forget to set those lineups late Saturday night, because we do have a London game. Starts very early, so you want to have your lineup ready. The worst thing is waking up, realizing you had somebody who scored ham on your bench. So don't forget to set those lineups early. It's like daylight savings time. It's one of those things where you just got to be ready for it. But guys, that is my show today. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Help us out. Look, if you've got a start and sit question that we didn't answer, send us an email at fourthandflex@gmail.com. Put a comment down in this video. I get those immediately, and I will answer your start and sit questions. Let's go, baby. Can't wait for some football. Let's go. Support for Fourth and Flex Fantasy Football Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming? Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 6 million worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and worldwide shipping with the code SUPERFLEX20 at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 12 million balls. Blah, blah, blah. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.